I'm just after taking this bread out of the oven. So I turned it upside down like this for 5 minutes just before, about 20 minutes in. And then 5 minutes later, it's all ready. So I've got a clean tea towel. I'm going to wrap it up so it saves the crusts getting too hard. And I'm in with my brown bread. So in this bowl here, I've got 10 ounces of wholemeal flour. And you can have your different, you can have coarse, it depends on what. I've just got, I don't even know what it is, it's been in the cupboard. Just ordinary wholemeal flour. And I've got 5 ounces of plain flour in here, to which I'm going to add a pinch of salt and 1.5 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda. And again, just make sure that you make sure there's no lumps in there. So I'm just going to sieve that through. There's no point in sieving the wholemeal through, obviously, because it's thicker anyway. So you can use a spoon if you want, or just use my hand like that. So mixing, combining the wholemeal flour with the plain flour. There we go. And then make the well in the middle like we did before. Pouring the buttermilk in. I don't know whether I'll have enough here. It takes about a pint for this, because it's a £2 loaf. So I might need to add this other one. I keep some of these in the freezer if I haven't got any fresh. And before you do, just open it just a tiny little sliver so that you can have a little peek of a hole. And then bend it down again, because when it expands then it won't spill over. But that's my little trick anyway. So I've always got some buttermilk in if we need it. Again, moving my bowl around, I just move the flour from the outside towards the milk on the inside. And then once that's done, I tend to go the other way for some reason, I've noticed. And I just sort of have a claw hand to mix that in there. Now obviously I'm going to need some more of this in, so I'll pour a bit more because it's quite a big amount. And then you feel it coming, that's probably enough now. You can feel it coming together in your hands. Getting the flour from the bottom of the bowl. You're sort of kneading it as you go around, so you don't need to do anything when it comes out of the bowl. Now that hasn't come, we can see there's still some more dry down there, so I'll put a little bit more into that. Mix that all in. And we know the rule of when it's clean in the bowl, it's time to come out of it. So I'll just clean my fingers off a little bit. Move that to one side, just put a little bit of flour, wherever that's gone, onto my board, and then toss it out. It's a bit like thick porridge, I suppose, at this stage. And then just shape it into a bit of a loaf. You don't need to do much with it. Now this £2 tin I've got here, I've just sprayed it with oh gosh, what do you call it? With 1-cal spray. Wash my hands a minute. Sprayed it with 1-cal spray, and then I'm just going to put some flour into it, and it stops hopefully stops the bread sticking when you're trying to get it out after it's cooked. You do have these liners, but I think it's a bit of a faff when you're trying to get them out. And sometimes the paper will stick to the bread, so I don't bother with that. Just make sure that your oil's all around the tin on each side. Don't need too much, it seems to have sunk down because I've prepared it earlier, as they say. And then just sprinkle it with some flour, make sure it's covered. I'm just going to put the bread into the loaf tin and push it down towards the corners. And that's as much as we need. Now I'm going to put a little bit of that buttermilk on top and get a few porridge oats to sprinkle on the top. So it's just ordinary breakfast cereal. You don't have to do this, but put a little different crust on it. Put that on there, and then take your floured knife and put a cut down the centre. It will help it I'll stop it from splitting and give it a direction to cook in. So there we go. So that's going to go into, try and make it a bit even. That's going to go into my oven for an hour and we'll see what that turns out. I've got one in already, so hopefully that won't be too long before that comes out. So that's your brown bread, as quick as that, and you've got lovely fresh and less additives in your bread. So speak to you later. Bye.